Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited for this video because I didn't think that I would ever entertain this idea, because if you've been following me for a while, I have kids and making this video to me felt unrealistic and unsuccessful. And it might be, but you will follow me along and we will go through the hardships together. It is Friday, August 18th. I only have a few days, couple weeks left before the end of the month. And I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? This is the book that I've read this month so far. That is it. I don't know if it's because this month has been super busy with Charlie starting school, or if I've just been very distracted, or maybe I'm in a little reading slump, but this is all I've read so far. So my wrap-up video for the month is probably gonna be very tiny and sad. So with that being said, what I really plan on doing in this video is I want to try the 24-hour readathon challenge. There's so many different ways that you can do it and approach it. I'm going to do it the realistic way for me. Unfortunately, I can't read for 24 hours straight. I need sleep and I have kids and family to take care of, so I can't do that. But I can start a 24-hour timer, and as soon as I pick up a book and I start physically reading, then the timer starts counting down. So that is what I'm going to do. I don't know how long this is going to take me because, again, I have family, I have priorities, I have things to do. There's that. What I really plan on getting out of this is trying to go through my TBR a little bit, at least read 1 or 2 books in this 24-hour challenge, okay? With that being said, let's talk about the books that I'm currently reading. I know for sure I'm going to finish The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I literally have 77 pages left. I am almost done with it, as you can see. This will be at least my first read that I finished. Is it kind of cheating? Yes, but you see my husband in the background. It's just what I'm able to do considering my circumstances. So that's gonna happen. And then today, if I end up cleaning the house, while I clean the house, I need to listen to something. So I picked this up last week. I'm already on chapter 6 and I've been listening to the audio version of it because as I'm cleaning the house, it takes me 2 to 3 hours, depending, sometimes 4, depending on my pace. But I've been really enjoying reading this so far. I love it. I can't wait to finish it. My goal is to finish at least these 2 books in this vlog. What better way to do it and hold myself accountable than to have a reading challenge to go with it? Those are the books that I have to at least finish within this 24-hour readathon. Then I have my TBR cart. Okay, it's a mess. There's books here that I've been thinking about reading, you know, in case I don't want to read these because I am an annoying mood reader. What is also on my TBR for the month of August is these 4 other books that I've really planned on reading this month. So let's bring them out. So I have King of Wrath by Anna Hung. Then I have Flawless by Elsie Silver. Then I have The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. And then I have Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I haven't been in the mood to read any of these books. After I finished The Wall of Winnipeg and Me and The Summer of Broken Rules, I really have no desire in reading anything from my TBR, okay? But I'm gonna try. All of these books, I've heard nothing but great things, which is why they're on my TBR for the month of August. Also, we're starting to get into fall, September, and I plan on reading a lot of cozy fantasies, a lot of witchy books, a lot of horror, a lot of thriller, and not a lot of summer romances. So what better way to read these books than this month, because it's typically, to me, it's the last month of summer. I'm gonna read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me and The Summer of Broken Rules, and then I might jump into Flawless. I might not finish it in this video, but I might jump into it because I've heard nothing but great things about this book. I've heard it's very, very bingeable. Or I might jump into The Infinity Between Us. It's also available on Audible, so when I'm not physically able to read the book, I can read it that way. Also looks like a short book. I don't know. We will see, guys. We will see what I'm in the mood for. A couple things I need to do first, and then I will pop back in here once I start the timer. Go from there. And then also, if you haven't heard of me rambling about The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, this follows Aiden, the top defensive end of the National Football Organization. So he's a professional football player, and it follows his assistant, Vanessa Mazur. So Vanessa has been his assistant for 2 years, and she has dealt with his grumpiness. She does everything. She cooks for him, she cleans for him, she does his laundry, she answers his email, she answers his fan mail. She basically does everything for him. And she's always felt like this man has never appreciated her. So one day she gets tired of it and she up and leaves and she quits. Abruptly, she quits in the best way though. It was iconic to me. She quits, a month passes, she finds him at her doorstep. He has a proposition for her. So that's all I'm gonna say. It is such a good book. You have to read it. If you're gonna read anything, you have to read this book. And then if you haven't heard of The Summer of Broken Rules, I don't know if I've explained it yet, but this is about Meredith. She has recently lost her sister. Every year, her sister and her family go on a family vacation to Martha's Vineyard. There, they take advantage and go to the shops. They do the summery things. They have the ice creams. They go to the markets. They go to the beaches. And they also play traditionally a game of assassins. And assassins is you're basically given a target and you have water guns. You have to take out your target. And so the last person standing is the one that wins the game. It's bittersweet because she is mourning the death of her sister, but it's also so good. It has such summery vibes. It is just a perfect summer YA romance. I highly recommend it. Because her sister passed away, they haven't really gone to Martha's Vineyard for 18 months. They decide that this year they're going because her cousin's getting married. In the wedding, there are groomsmen. Meredith becomes friends with Whit, who happens to be one of the groomsmen. The story goes from there. It's a really good book. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna pick up some of K.L. Walter's other books because it's so dang good. Once I start reading, I will put the timer and I'll show you guys. We will go from there. Today is Friday, August 18th. I will talk to you guys in a little bit once I'm all settled in and I'm about to read. Okay, here we go. I'm super excited. It's been an hour. I've hit the 1 hour mark. See that? It's been an hour. So I literally have like 23 pages left. I'm on page 642. Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to read this book. It is so good. You've heard me talk about Mariana Zapata, how she is the queen of slow burns, and this is by far her slowest slow burn romance ever. I'm literally almost 23 pages away from finishing the book, and finally, feelings are going to be discussed maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm so excited. This is such a good book. This is such a good way to start my 24 readathon. Even though like I'm almost done with the book and it's a little bit kind of like cheating, this is such a good way to start this video. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to keep reading. This book is amazing. Almost 2 hours have passed. I have 22 hours and 10 minutes left of this reading challenge. Do you see that? I just wanted to tell you that I finished The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. 5 stars. 5 stars hands down, you guys. Like, it's so good. And the way it ended and the epilogue, it was amazing, okay? It was amazing. I'm gonna make lunch right now. I'm gonna have lunch and then I'm gonna start reading again. And obviously the next book I'm reading is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. Like I said, I'm already on chapter 6. So I really really want to finish this today, which is not going to happen because after lunch, we have 2 more hours left and then I have to go pick up Charlie. And once both kids are here, it is chaos sometimes and I don't really get a lot of time to read. They do let me when they play with each other. For the most part, I don't get a lot of reading done. So I'm hoping to squeeze in a couple hours with this book. When I'm going to pick up Charlie in carpool, I get there like 30 minutes early. I get another 30 minutes of reading time. And then when I come home, we will see. It all depends on how the kids feel today and how busy we get. And then at night, I will read some more. I feel like I'm doing pretty good considering I've read like 60 plus pages in 2 hours. I mean, I'm not the fastest reader. To me, that's pretty good. Hi guys, it's actually the next day. It's actually later, like almost the end of the day. It's literally 5:48. I didn't really get to read after I checked in with you guys yesterday because I got busy with the kids after school. So I really didn't get to read last night. Today we had a little bit of a pull day and then before it started to rain. So it's supposed to rain and we're supposed to have thunderstorms and stuff this entire weekend, which to me I think is the perfect weather to read books. Like it's the perfect time to read books for me. Although I don't have any thriller books on my TBR this month. I kind of wish I did because when it's gloomy and it's dark and it's rainy, I want to read like a thriller or a creepy book. I don't know if I updated you yesterday on what page I'm at. I did get to read for a couple hours this morning and we are at the 20-hour mark. Literally only successfully read for what, 3-4 hours. I'm on page 120. I'm still enjoying it a lot. And so you kind of find out what happened to Meredith's sister. You find out how she passed away. It was super sad and she's kind of going back and forth, kind of living through it, reminiscing of her sister and remembering things that she used to do with her. It's bittersweet because she can't fully enjoy herself while she's on vacation because everything reminds her of her sister. It's a really good read. It has its sad moments at times, but other than that, it's very lighthearted. It's fun, like gives me butterflies in my stomach. It's just a cute, really great YA summer romance that I think anybody and everybody should be reading. I'm gonna try to get some reading done and I will update you when I have another one. Something so cute just happened and it made me so giddy, so giddy. I was like, I don't know why, but it's something so simple too, but it just made me happy. So they finally kissed. I'm so excited, super excited. I'm now on page, let me see, 153, chapter 11. We are at 19 hours and 44 minutes left in our challenge. So I don't know why, but I'm enjoying this book a lot, but I feel like lately or this weekend was probably not the best time to start this reading challenge because I feel like I've been really distracted lately and super busy and haven't really gotten to binge a lot of the book. So I really hope that I can get this book done and maybe finish another one in this reading challenge or possibly be halfway through another book. Realistically, I'm not like a super fast reader and I don't really read a book in a day. I give myself 24 hours, but usually it takes me 2 to 3 days to finish a book. If I really like it, sometimes I will finish it in a day and a half. I don't really read books that quickly, so I'm very curious to see at least how many pages at the end of this challenge I had read within the 24 hours. So yeah, chapter 11. By the way, Meredith's ex-boyfriend, such an idiot, total idiot. Hello friends, good morning. Well, it's afternoon for me, but it must be good morning somewhere out there, okay? It's probably morning somewhere in the world right now. I just wanted to pop in and let you guys know, give you a little quick update of how far I've gone in the book. You know what's been going on with my thoughts. Last night I actually stayed up until like 1:30. Actually read up to page 216, chapter 16. So I'm literally, see that? 61% through the book already. I read it on my Kindle in bed, which is by far the best ever. I love reading on my Kindle with all the lights off. I love it so much. It relaxes me so much when I read that way, and I feel like on my Kindle I read a lot faster than the physical book. Needless to say, I did make a little bit of a dent. I'm curious because we still have a bit left in this book. Feelings have been discussed. I'm just curious as to now what in the story, like where do we go from here? Because this is a YA romance. Obviously, they do get together at some point, but we still have this huge chunk left in the book. So I'm like wondering if there's going to be like a third act conflict in it, a breakup. I just don't know. I kind of think, and I'm kind of guessing a little bit, or I have an idea as to what might happen if there is a third act breakup. I'm not 100% sure. I just hope I don't lose my interest because, again, I've heard such great things about this book, but we still have quite a bit left before I finish the book, and I'm just kind of like, so feelings have been discussed, they're partially together now. Where is the story going from here, you know? So that's where I'm at. Those are my thoughts right now. I did not get much reading done this morning because I've been too busy running around with the kids, and I did have a video that I needed to edit, but I plan on getting a lot of reading done this afternoon, if not tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the book today. I would love to start a new book during this 24-hour reading challenge, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. We are at the 17-hour mark. I have 17 hours and 41 minutes left, which, you know, I'm pretty proud of it. I've been reading not like the fastest, but I haven't been reading the slowest either, so I'm pretty proud of how far I've gotten. And if I keep this pace up with the amount of time I have left, for sure I'll be able to finish this book in this challenge, and I will also be able to start or get through at least half of another book. So that gets me really excited. I'll give you an update once I have another one, maybe once I hit the monumental 12-hour mark. We'll see. Good morning. Hi. It's been a couple of days. I haven't updated you guys. It's just been one of those weeks. I wanted to let you know that I did finish The Summer of Broken Rules and I loved it. I gave it a 4. My rating might change. It might change from a 4 to a 3.75. I really liked how it ended. I liked where the story went after they admitted they liked each other, you know, but I don't know. I lately have been struggling to get through my TBR because I just am in a huge fantasy mood right now. I know I have plans to start the last book in the ACOTAR series next month, and I might push it back. I don't know. But then I also want to start Red Rising. I also want to start another fantasy book. You know, usually with fantasy books, there's not a lot that are standalones. So I'm also like torn between, well, should I start another fantasy series even though I didn't finish ACOTAR? And the books are pretty big, so I just don't want to start too many series at one time and be stuck feeling like, okay, what do I read and how do I pace myself? Because I don't want to overwhelm myself and commit to too many at one time. I like this book. It's super cute overall. Really such a great summer YA romance. I highly recommend it for anybody that is looking for something short, sweet, fun, because there's a game of assassins involved and just overall super heartfelt. So I picked up The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. I'm already on chapter 6, page 48, and my first impressions of this book are I'm glued. The author literally right away, because of her writing, has made me glued onto the pages. I don't want to put it down. Pacing is quick. The chapters are quick. It's easy easy to read, it's easy to get through. I really like how strong it started in the beginning of the book. Like, it started off really strong. So I am very excited to hopefully read and finish this within my 24-hour readathon. This is only 288 pages, so I see myself finishing this within a couple days because it's just such a quick read. If you didn't know what this book is about Violet and Will, and they've been best friends forever. Grew up together. Every year they would go to this beach house that his parents co-own with her parents, and they would just spend really great summers together. They'd live in different states, but every year in the summertime they'd get together and be in this vacation beach house and just have a great summer together. I'm assuming something happens the last summer that they're together that makes them basically not speak to each other for 5 years, and I'm thinking it's something super serious, or at least I'm hoping it's something super serious and not something just dumb. And the story takes place in the now and then. We get snippets of how they used to be then versus how they are doing now. Violet is actually, after 5 years, going back to the beach house to potentially sell it for her dad and deal with all of that. She finds Will in the beach house, which is supposed to be abandoned for 5 years. There, the story goes from there. I don't want to say too much because it's a short book, but I'm really enjoying it. It's so intriguing because I want to find out what the whole issue or the miscommunication or why they didn't speak for 5 years. It sounds like he must have done something so bad that she just disowned him, basically. She just like shut him out of her life completely. He also sounds very apologetic and very regretful of things. I'm super excited to keep reading. We now have 12 hours and 38 minutes left in this 24-hour reading challenge, if you could see it. It has taken me a couple of days, actually. I don't know if it's been a week yet. I'll probably end up knowing how long it really takes me at the end of this video, but yeah, it's been taking me a while. But I feel like I've been getting a lot of reading done, which is what the whole purpose of this video is. Okay, it's Wednesday, it's the next day. Well, it's actually almost the end of the next day. It's 4:44 and we have 9 hours and 29 minutes left in our reading challenge. And I'm on page 126. I kid you not, if I had uninterrupted hours and hours, I would binge this book because it's so good. It is so interesting. Again, I love the switch back and forth from present to 5 summers ago. I think that's keeping me glued. Also, I can't wait to find out what actually happened. I have a suspicion. I suspect something happened amongst the families that I can't say because it'll be a spoiler, but I suspect it and it's not good. But yeah, this is such a good book. I am loving it. Again, if I had time in my hands where I could just binge it, I would totally binge it and finish it in a couple of hours because it's so easy to get through. It's so interesting. The different times that it's set on is really good. I care about both timelines. I care about the present and I care about the past because the past tells you what actually happened and why they haven't spoken for 5 years. And the present now is interesting too because you know they love each other, you know they want to be together, but something happened between them. There's this awkwardness lingering in the air with them, even though they love each other. Okay, it is 8:39. We're at 9 hours and 2 minutes left of this readathon. The kids are finally in bed. I took off my makeup. I had to put my hair up. Sometimes when I curl my hair, I can only have it down for so many days before I'm just fed up with it. To me, when I put my hair up, after a couple days I curl it, it probably doesn't stay curled the next time I put it down, but I don't care. Let's see how much more of this I can read tonight. We're getting closer to finding out why they stopped talking for 5 years, what happened to her mom, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of feelings are surfacing again, a lot of emotions. I really like this book. I wasn't thinking that I was gonna like it. I knew I was gonna like it, but I wasn't expecting it to like it as much as I do, and I'm glad I picked this up for this readathon because had I not been doing this readathon, I probably would have just put it back in my TBR. So I'm excited to see where this is gonna go, and I'm kind of nervous because I feel like this is gonna make me cry. There's a point in this book that might just do it for me. It might just make me cry. finally kiss. In the back then, they finally kiss. Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday. It is the next morning. I literally have 100 pages left to finish this book. For sure, I'm going to finish it today. We have hit the 7-hour mark in the reading challenge. Yep, we literally have 7 hours left and 39 seconds. And honestly, you guys have to read this book. It is really, really, really good. I'm enjoying it so much. Just getting anxious to find out what actually happened 5 years ago. Why did they stop talking? It must have been something so bad that affected the entire family. And I just can't wait to find out what it was. I suspect I know what it is. And honestly, I don't want to be right because it's just... if it is what I'm thinking it is, it's just messed up. It's really messed up. So I think I'm gonna cry towards the ending of this book. I feel it in my gut that it's gonna make me cry. We'll see how that goes. And honestly, I don't know what I want to read next. I really don't. Looking at my TBR card, what I should do is have a physical TBR aside from a monthly TBR, because what I've been doing is I've been just pulling books I want to read for the month, and then once the month is over, I'm no longer in a mood to read books that I put out for that month, and so I put them all back. But I think I should start pulling out books that should stay on my physical TBR so that I have more to choose from other than just the 5 or 6 books that I pick for my monthly TBR. So honestly, I don't know what I want to read next. I know I want to start A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas, which is the last book in the Akhtar series, because I want to start Throne of Glass right after that, but I just don't know if I'm emotionally ready to start that book. And I also heard that that book, you don't even get Feyre's perspective. Usually all the books in this series, you've gotten Feyre's perspective, and then that last book you get to be in a couple other characters' heads, which was very enjoyable for me. And I just don't know how I'm gonna take this. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for this yet, but I do know I want to move on because I want to go through Sarah J Maas's backlist. I do want to go through her series, and I feel like I'm missing out because I'm stopped with not wanting to start this one. So that could be a possibility. I might have like 5 hours left or maybe less. That gives me enough time to at least start another book, but I just don't know what I want to start. I don't want to read any of my other books on my TBR for the month. I don't want to read King of Wrath. I don't want to start Flawless, and I don't want to read Hello Stranger. Although I've just been hearing mixed reviews on this. The Bodyguard last year, it wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't absolutely in love with it like most people were. And I feel like I'm gonna get the same feeling with this book. And I really don't want to start off the month or end the month with a book that just makes me feel like you know? So I don't know. I really don't know what I'm in the mood for. I also am in a huge mood to read fantasy, and I also want to start reading fallish books, like fallish autumn themed books. And I just picked this up this month, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poster. This is the same author as The Dead Romantics. I absolutely loved that book last year. I think I gave it a 5-star. I think maybe a 4.75. I don't know. But I really loved that book. It gave me the fall vibes that I was looking for, and it was just the perfect time of the year for me to read it. And I feel like looking at this cover, it's also very fallish to me, and I feel like this is what I want to read. I heard it's really good. It's only 324 pages. I don't know, guys. I might just start this afterwards because I really don't know what to start next. And again, I really don't want to read another romance. I want to start a romance, but with more themes in it. And I feel like this is gonna give, because there's different timelines in this book. I got this one at Target. It just feels so nice and floppy. I'm just loving it so much. So I might just, you know, bite the bullet and just start that book and see how far I'm gonna get into it. I don't know. We shall see. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So I have a little update for you. I finished The Infinity Between Us. 5 freaking stars. This book was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. The love story was beautiful. It was so beautiful. You guys have to read it. I love the characters. I love Violet. I love the pain that these characters went through and how they are trying to deal with what happened in the past. I love how much Will loves her, absolutely adores her, loves her. I love their friendship they had since they were kids. Oh, I just love everything. Everything was so beautiful. This book was so good. I can't believe it took me this long to read it, honestly. I can't believe it took me this long. Now, after reading that, I feel like I want to read another painful... This wasn't painful. There were some parts that were painful, but I want to read another emotional romance. I really just want to not read the rest of my TBR. Okay, let's see what we can do, right? Let's see. And I think I'm about to run out of batteries, but let me take you. Let me take you to my TBR cart and let's see what we have so far, okay? Nothing that I want to read, obviously. We have King of Wrath. We have a Flawless, which I've heard such great things, but I heard this is more rommy-commy and just fun. And I don't want to read rommy-commy fun. I kind of want to read pain. And we have Hello Stranger. I don't want to read any of these, you guys. Like, I don't. I really just want to read a book that's going to make me sob. This I had in mind, but this is not going to make me sob. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. This is The 7-Year Slip, and I think I might save this for September. Honestly, I want to read something that's going to just break me a little bit. Let me check what I have. Let me see what I have. Okay, the lighting is not so great right now, but just bear with me, okay? So, these are the books that I want to choose from, and yes, sorry, none of them are from my August TBR. I'm sorry, just can't help it, okay? I can't help it. Some of these are more serious than others. After reading The Infinity Between Us, I swear, like, I'm just in that mood. So, the first one is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This one gives me, like, fallish vibes. I think it's set in New York, in Manhattan. A misconnection, a second chance at love, a love-hate love story. So, this one, I've heard nothing but great things. I've heard nothing but great things of all these books, but this one has been on my TBR since last year. Most of these have been on my TBR since last year, except for 2 of them. This one could be a contender. Then we have the famous book that is either hated or loved extremely, and that is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, and this is the first in the 4-book series. I don't know if there's going to be a 5th book. I don't know. This is literally Gossip Girls, but make it in the UK. There's a lot of cheating in here. It's a toxic relationship, but I'm in the mood to read something like this, and I'm curious to see if I'm going to like it or not. Either way, I have the other 3 books, and I'm excited to get to this one. The next one I have on my list is, I don't know if this is, I think this falls more on a rom-com base, and this is To Hate Adam Connor by Ella Mays, and this is the same author that wrote Marriage for One, and I absolutely love that book. That book is one of my all-time favorite romance books ever, and I've been meaning to read something else from her, and I heard this was a good one. I think this one's about a famous actor who is recently divorced. He happens to live next to... what's her name? I think her name is Lucy. Yeah, her name is Lucy. He happens to live next to Lucy, and Lucy catches him having sex with somebody. She pulls out her binoculars and she starts spying on him, and he calls the cops on her, and she spends the night in jail. This feels like it's literally going to be a really fun time for me, so this is like to lighten the mood. And then I also have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I just really love how big and thick this book is, and the feel of the pages. It's floppy. I think this is a bully romance. I don't know if I like bully romances. I don't think I've ever read one yet. This would be my first one. So I'm excited to get to this because I know there's going to be some pain in this book that I'm craving. And this one's also set in a prep school, so it gives me the fall vibes, you know, August, September, when school's happening. This is a possible contender. And then the last one, which I already read 2 pages of, is Full Tilt by Emma Scott. I think it's about a rock star, and she is an alcoholic, and I think the guy, we all know that he's gonna die, and it's inevitable, and they fall in love. And this is just one of these heartbreaking stories that just shatters your heart. Luckily though, it's only like 285 pages, And I did get the second book. But again, like I'm feeling like I'm ready. Like I have to be in the right mindset to read a sad book like this because you know that there's really not a happy ending. I think the guy dies. It says in the back, I would love you forever if only I had the chance. Like, I don't want to read anything else, but I know that this is very, very sad. So this is also a contender. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm going to read. I will check back in a little bit after the kids are bathed and have their dinner. And then I will let you know which one of these I decide to pick. We have 4 hours and 5 minutes left in this reading challenge, and obviously I'm not going to finish a book in that amount of time. Maybe if I pick Full Tilt, I'll finish this one, but the rest of them ain't gonna happen. I'm just happy to be able to pick up another book during this challenge. This has been really fun for me, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more of these challenges to come, and it has helped me read a little bit more, seeing as the month is almost over. So we'll see what I end up picking. Okay, so I could not pick, okay, because all these books, they're all different, and they're all books I want to read, and I just couldn't pick. So what I did was I took a picture of the stack and I asked my husband, what book should I read next? And he just responded. So we're going to find out together. And ignore my screaming kids. It says To Hate Adam or Magnolia Parks. Sorry about that. My son, lately, he just feels like he should scream like a dinosaur to get my attention. Like he literally screams like a dying dinosaur to get my attention. And it's because his sister was in his room trying to bug him. But anyways, so my husband picked, like I said, To Hate Adam or Magnolia Parks. Okay, so these are my 2 picks. Okay, To Hate Adam Connor or Magnolia Parks. I'm gonna pick Magnolia Parks because I've been really wanting to read this. I've just been very scared that I was gonna hate it. But if I'm going into it knowing that it's a toxic relationship, both characters are unlikable characters because they're horrible to each other and other people, but it's so juicy and it's so full of drama that people can't help but love it, or so I've heard. There you have it. This is my next read. It's gonna be Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Wish me luck. Hi friends, so it's been the next day, it's Friday, it is 5:04. I will say that I did start Magnolia Parks. I am already on page 78 and I am loving it so much. I'm eating it up. It either works for some people or it doesn't, and for me, it's everything. It works. Let me just tell you, these characters, they're unlikable characters, and I already know that they're characters that you really don't want to fall in love with, but for some reason, you just can't help want to follow their lives, and you can't deny the fact that their lives are very interesting. If you're not aware of what Magnolia Parks is about, this follows Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne. They are basically these rich kids that come from a lot of money and they go to this very pristine prep school. It's basically about BJ and Magnolia's romance, but it's so messy, it's dysfunctional, there's cheating involved. They grew up together, they've been going to school together, and they are absolutely madly in love with each other, but so wrong for each other, but yet so right. I'm at the part where I've been introduced to their close-knit circle of friends. All of these kids go to the same school together and they've grown up together. You get the points of views of BJ and Magnolia so far. I don't know if throughout the rest of the story it's just them two, but for now it's BJ and Magnolia. I'm learning what kind of people they are. Not necessarily the best people in the world. They do very nasty things to each other. Like he sleeps around a lot. She gets boyfriends just to spite him. Doesn't sleep with them, but she gets boyfriends to spite him. They have this dysfunctional relationship. Both of them love each other so dearly, but their relationship is so toxic that I just can't help but to eat it up. I can't help but to continue to read. And the quotes in here, the way that this book is written, it's almost like poetic, very lyrical, very beautifully written. The words don't have to be beautiful, but the way that it's written is magnificent. That's the best way I can explain it. And I've already annotated some, like for example, this right here. There's just so many quotes in here. Like this one, it says, "He's a time bomb for me. Do you see now that he'll hurt me? He'll always hurt me. I'll never be safe with him, even if I'm always safe next to him. So it doesn't matter if I love him, which I don't. But if I did, it doesn't matter even now, because loving him is the same thing as tossing the keys to my heart to a valet without a driver's license. He'll drive me off a cliff." Like, Things like that in this book are just, oh man, like you can just feel the pain within these characters. I know that this book is going to break me emotionally, and I'm going to feel every emotion that these characters suffer in this book. I already know it. I am anticipating that this book to me is going to be a 5-star read. I just know it because it's just something about this writing and something about these characters that you know they have a very toxic relationship, but you can't help but to believe how much they love each other, even though they continuously do these things to spite each other that if you're really truly in love with somebody you shouldn't do, but you know that they are so wrong for each other, but yet they belong together and they're so right, you know? So I'm enjoying it. I have literally 37 minutes and 29 seconds left of this readathon challenge. I'm hoping to get that done tonight and continue to read this book, honestly, because it's been interesting so far. Hi, it's Saturday. I did want to say that I finished my reading challenge yesterday. I had like literally 37 minutes left. I did it. I finished it. Did not finish reading Magnolia Parks, but I did get 96 pages into this book. And again, I'm still loving it. I'm eating it up. This is probably going to be a 5-star read for me. I'm just enjoying all the drama, how toxic this relationship is. It's so interesting, but yet so full of characters that are in pain. You know that they should be together, but they're so toxic for each other, but you can feel the love that they have for each other. I love this book. In a sense, like, yeah, this is a toxic relationship, and yeah, this is not a relationship that should be glorified by any means, but at the same time, it's super realistic because there are relationships like this out there. Although I don't glorify it, I feel like it is very interesting to read. I also feel for the characters. Even though they are unlikable characters, I still care about them and their relationship and the little snippets of their friend circle, you know, that I'm getting to know. I'm enjoying that as well. Let's go over numbers and see how much I've actually read during this readathon. When I started this readathon, I was in the middle of 2 books. I was in the middle of finishing The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, and I had just started The Summer of Broken Rules. So with The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, I've read 67 pages. With The Summer of Broken Rules, I've read 279 pages, and then The Infinity Between Us, I did read the entire book, and that was 288 pages, and I did get up to page 96 of Magnolia Parks. So overall, in this readathon, I read a total of 730 pages, which to me is really good considering I'm not the fastest reader. I feel like that's a huge accomplishment on my end. So let's recap on the books that I read during this challenge. Here are the books that I ended up reading in this readathon, starting off with finishing The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. 5-star, hands down, such an amazing book. I highly recommend anybody and everybody should read this book. Next up, we have The Summer of Broken Rules. This one, we're gonna keep it at 4-star right now. It might go down to a 3.75. I don't know, I have to still think about it. But overall, a very great YA summer romance with some bittersweet moments, some heartfelt moments, but overall a very good book and I highly recommend it. Then I read The Infinity Between Us, 5 stars all the way. Hands down, such a great book. So good, so full of emotions, so full of pain, but in a good way. The characters are lovable. The relationship is so believable. What happens between them is very tragic, but it was such a good book. Such a good book. Highly recommend. And then I finished it off with Magnolia Parks. I read 96 pages. I love this book. I'm gonna continue the series. I'm glad I got the rest of the books in the series because I know that I am going to continue this series. For me, I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the writing style is beautiful. The characters are all flawed. You can't help but to like them even though they're unlikable characters. The romance is toxic, but again, I'm eating it up. I just really love this book and I love the setting of it too. I love that it's set in the UK. They go to a very prestigious prep school. They're super rich kids, super snobby rich kids. But I'm enjoying it. So there you have it, guys. Let me show you my stack again because I am very proud of it. How pretty is that? I feel very proud of myself doing this challenge. I never thought that I would be able to do something like this because it's just not realistic for me to read for 24 hours. But I did it in the best way I could. I did it with the timer. I stopped the timer every time I wasn't reading. So to me, it was very successful. It did take me a week to go through these books, which is fair because again, I'm not the fastest reader, but I think my pacing was really good considering I was able to get to 3 full books and start on a 4th one. So super proud of myself. With that being said, I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you so much again, you guys, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had so much fun doing it. You will be seeing other readathons in the future. I don't know if I'm gonna do a 48-hour one because this one took me a week. I can only imagine what a 48-hour one will take me. Expect to see these more often, maybe towards the end of the month. Maybe, don't count me on it, but maybe here and there I'll have these towards the end of the month just to help me get to my TBR, even though the last book was not on my TBR. But hey, 3 out of 4, okay? Pretty dang good if I say so myself. So thank you again, you guys, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye!